Welcome back, my body language buddies. See if I you listen to me. That's important. Yes. No, this is not. Yes, you listen to me. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and we have a new live today talking about this new pictures about the articles allegedly visiting Oprah on her Montecito crib, on her home, on her house. And so many things is strange about these pictures, like Harry having three hands and this mysterious woman on the front seat, on the co-pilot seat, with six fingers. So many strange things. We're going to analyze everything. And why does Meghan look like that? That is, I don't get it. But we're gonna see everything, every single one of those. Let me fix some technical details. Let's fix my tie too. Didn't have time, was in a rush as usual. As usual. My tie's okay, much better. Much better now. So we have these pictures. Let's add some background to this. We have this. Exclusive is another royal tell-all in the works. Harry and Meghan are seen making 5-minute drive to friend and neighbor Oprah's 100 million Montecito mansion. Okay, this is something that I checked and something that we're going to talk about too. I didn't know. I didn't know until today that Meghan lived literally 5 minutes away. 5 minutes in a car, by car. Harry and Meghan were spotted driving to Oprah's massive Montecito mansion, where they spent over an hour with a talk show host on Saturday afternoon. This is all of this. Well, I have my doubts that they actually spent an hour there. We have no way of confirming that. Okay, we guess that the paparazzis that were there were checking on that, but yeah, it seems staged. Absolutely, totally agree with you, Deborah. I think what we're gonna do is to begin looking at the photos. Okay, we got two Range Rovers where Harry is driving the front one. I guess that is the security team in the back. I don't know how much security do they need, but the most relevant question about this, the most relevant question that people had is who was the woman up front? Because it was definitely it was not Meghan. Okay, who was the woman in front? Going a bit closer, we begin to notice some things. Well, something that is going to be important later on is, well, first the questions about the fingers. I'm going to talk about the fingers of this woman, but first we have to unveil her identity. I'm 95% sure that is Meghan's friend, Janina Gavin Carr. Absolutely sure it's her. She has the same nose, the same eyes, the same eyebrows, the same that mouth shape so unique to her. Has to be her. You know that Meghan and Janina are really good friends so far. So far, I have to say, and you would remember that I made a video analysis about Janina claiming that she had seen Lilibet, and I don't think she had actually seen Lilibet at that moment. Who knows? But well, you know how it is, how is this kind of claims, but the way her body language worked at that moment was not very. Did not inspire much trust in her words. But who knows? Right now, maybe she already saw Lilibet, or I guess she did. We have one clue that is this kind of. I'm going to try to point it out. This kind of baby seat here. Okay, and worth noticing that Meghan, I know that it's odd to see Meghan like in this expression or the appearance. It's very odd, and at some point doesn't look like Meghan. But there are no other pictures that we're gonna compare. We're gonna compare her face to this first image that we're watching, and we have to kind of, how to say that, take into account that she's in the middle seat. Okay, she's in the middle seat at the back. We guess that maybe Lilibet was on one side and Archie was on the other. That's absolutely. I'm just thinking that that could be the one that we like. The idea that it could be the reason why she's sitting on the middle. Just an idea so far. So if we move on, okay, we'll notice that whether it's Meghan or not, but it is Meghan. Trust me. Sadly, we don't have better pictures, but you could notice that her expression is it's a bit, just a tad of sadness. I don't know why, but I feel a tad of sadness. Like her eyebrows are pointing, the inner eyebrows are somewhat pointing upwards. It's very strange. We're not used to see Meghan with that facial expression, but it's what I'm picking up. I'm sure that you are picking up in your screen too. It's not that hard to spot that. So far, there are other questions that I've seen, other commentary that you see that you have. Many of you have put on Twitter or Instagram that it doesn't match the like Meghan's head is too big. I'm gonna explain that too in a minute. Okay, but let's move on to. Well, let's talk about, in this case, of Harry. Before I talk about Harry, remember that you can support my channel with the PayPal link on the description of this video. And you can also, and you can also send your super chats and super stickers to support my channel. But talking about Harry, so many words about what was this kind of Photoshop that in another picture it looks like he has 3 hands. Well, I'm gonna show you this picture first. Okay, odd enough that he's driving. It should be a security, right? It should be a security driving. Harry by the side of the security, and maybe Meghan at the back. We don't know why Janina was with them. That's another question. Why Janina was with their visit to Oprah? Big question. I don't know how to maybe they're gonna talk about the reality show. Maybe they're going to fix something that, or maybe it's 1 hour is too short for anything relevant. Okay, it must have been like more like a business meeting. But if it was a business meeting, then why bring the kids? Okay, you know, they practically don't bring the kids anywhere. So if they were for a quick chat with Oprah, less than an hour, then why bring the kids? Another question. But please pay attention to Harry's hands here. You notice that this is his left hand with his left fingers, and here's his left thumb. I know that you're picking that up. It's very easy to see. This is going to be important later on. This is his left hand with his left thumb pointing, and this is his right hand that is scratching his neck. He's like in this position, okay? Left hand on the wheel and scratching his neck with the other. That's going to be important later on. Okay, now we begin to notice some other like factors in this picture. So I want to, let me see, what is the next one? This is a new picture. This is another, and this is where we begin. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna talk first First of all, about something odd in the reflection of the vehicle. Okay? Something odd in the reflection of the vehicle. You're spotting here, you're watching now what you can see on the bumper, on the shiny bumper of the SUV. I don't know, how do you say that? SUV? If you can help me with that, it will be great. You're looking at the shiny bumper, okay? And the road is a very wide road and no cars on it. That is gonna be important. Why it's important? Because when we go back, we're gonna spot a couple things here. First, there's an ample road, okay? An ample road, and we can see some other, like a lamp post SUV. Thanks, SUV. An SUV. They're under SUV, and the reflection on the front, okay, notice this. Please notice this, because the Daily Mail, who exclusively published these photos taken by Backgrid, of course, they claimed that they were taking the pictures of them pulling over to Oprah's house. Okay? So, first thing that is odd because of this. If we go on, if you go on Google Maps and try to look for, just find Oprah's home, that is 1633 East Valley Road, Montecito. Everybody knows that. I'm not doxing anyone. Everybody knows where Oprah lives. So please, trolls, leave me alone. Okay, this is general knowledge of everyone in this world. When you go to 1633 East Valley Road, Montecito, all the roads are like the one that you're watching right now. Okay, all the roads around the neighborhood are exactly like that. There are no changes, and that is relevant because I mentioned that the Harkles live 5 minutes away from Oprah. Okay, just 5 minutes away. Okay, this is actually the street right behind, or if maybe it's in front of Oprah's home. In fact, you can see that Google Maps, and the people at Google, maybe Oprah requested the entrance to be blurred. Okay, if you go to Google Maps, you'll notice that the road to 1633 is blurred for privacy. Is the only one blurred. The other houses in Montecito are, you can almost take a peek inside, like in every other Google Maps photo, but you know, Oprah's power. And if you look in the other direction, you also have the same. It's a road, a pretty small road, some lampposts, and please take notice of the divider lines on the middle of the street. Okay, you got two divider lines, two yellow lines in the middle of the street. Okay, now this is what is odd. One of the things that I noticed that is odd. On the left, you're looking at how is the road right next to Oprah and right next to the Harkles, and almost all the way from the Harkles' house to Oprah's. And on the right, you're looking at the photo taken by Backgrid and published exclusively on the Daily Mail of the Harkles going to Oprah's house. If you notice that there's something that is unmistakably difference here. There are two lines, two divider lines on one photo, and in the Backgrid picture, there's only one. When you go, you actually can go. You can also search on the internet where do Meghan and Harry live, and you get the address too. And you just go and tell Google Maps, hey, what is the shortest route between Harry and Meghan's house to Oprah's house? All this is public. I am not doxing anyone. I am not harassing anyone. This is all public information. Okay? When you do that, you can get the only possibly and logical way to go there by car. And when you do that, you can just pick the little fellow to watch the street view, okay, from all the road. And you notice that no matter how, at what point of that road from the Harkles' home to Oprah's house, the road is the same. It's a very small road, divider, a double divider, a yellow double divider on the street. Okay, so there's no change. So my question is, if there's no change on the street, then where was this photo taken? Okay, where was this photo taken? Because it was not anywhere near Oprah's house or anywhere near the Harkles' house, for that matter. Okay, maybe they picked up Janina, but if they picked up Janina, very good observation, thank you, Vegan by the Big Apple, it's a nice name. Maybe they picked up Janina, yes, but that would mean that, of course, the paparazzi would have known where they were. Okay, the paparazzi would have known where they were, and that's another thing that reveals that bumper reflection. Why? Because if you have some experience with photography, when you have some experience with photography, you will realize that both cars, both SUVs, are almost the same size. And Meghan's head is almost the same size as Janina, and the perspective is really flat. The fact that the perspective is really flat is that you have a very long lens, okay? The lens is rather long, so you're taking the picture from rather long distance, okay? And if you're taking the picture from rather long distance, it's because you know exactly where are they gonna be and where are the SUVs gonna go through at a certain point in time. You're aware of that. That is just common sense. I'm not saying anything that you cannot reach. You can imagine that in this reflection, at some point in this reflection, should be the photographer, right? That's the reflection of the road. The photographer should be standing. You should be standing because there are no cars. Okay, so we're talking at a standing photographer, a person walking that should be somewhere alongside this road because there are no cars. It's not like the paparazzis were inside a car and they're taking the picture from inside the car because there are no cars in the reflection of this car, of this SUV. You notice that? So it was a person on the street. If there's a person in the street, if they're walking, they cannot move that easily. Okay? And they're picking an angle, they coming. So the only way, if you cannot move easily because you're not in a car, and you know you are standing in the perfect angle to take this picture, is because you already know where are they going to be at any point in time. So the paparazzi already knew where they were going to be. But this is not part of a road between the Harkles' house and Oprah's house. Okay? You go this, you search on the internet, it's very easy, Google Maps. You first search for Oprah's home, then the Harkles' home. Tell Google Maps to tell you the best road or the best path from point A to point B, and you will get this. Okay, there's not many options. It's very, very small roads. And okay, what if it was a drone? Well, I have my doubts it is being a drone, but at the same time, they would have to know where were they going. There's another thing in this picture that tells me that this is not the road, and it's this. Okay, we have the single line. Is this? This is, you can see this over the top or the ceiling of the of the SUVs. There's a lamppost, okay, but there's also a traffic light. There's also a traffic light. And I know what you're gonna ask right now. Are there any traffic lights along this path? No, there are not. And in fact, to get to the nearest traffic light, you'll have to, it will be quite a ride because there are no traffic lights nearby. They are very simple, narrow roads that just have stop signs. You have to stop, look both ways, and then go your way. Okay, no traffic signs nearby. You have to go to main roads that are a couple miles away. So that's another thing that they sort of mess up. You can see here that there's a, you can see up here, I caught this. I don't know if there's another picture that we could use. We could see that traffic light, but you can see that there's a traffic light in there. So yes, that picture, another signal that picture does not belong to this road, to the shortest route. Okay, they might have been going to pick Janina. My question is, well, maybe we have the question of why Janina was sitting at the front of the car, okay, on the front seat. Maybe she was sitting on the front seat because Meghan wanted to be with Lilibet and Archie. But again, why the whole Brady bunch would have gone to meet with Oprah for just 1 hour? That just 1 hour is something that doesn't fit much. Okay, I have my doubts. Now I have my doubts that they actually met Oprah, and I'm gonna tell you why in just a few minutes. But first, we have to address something else. We have to address those three hands. Okay, we have to address those three hands. And I told you to pay attention to Harry's hands because that's what I'm going to explain you, that what happened was just a problem, not a problem, but the resolution of the picture, the angle of the picture, and of course the angle of the hands. What everybody saw, and I saw it too, I have to tell you that I saw it too. I saw one hand here on the wheel. This is left hand on the wheel. I see right hand on the wheel too, right? That's what we all saw. We can see his knuckles here and some kind of a fingertip here. Okay? And we have also another hand at the back of them scratching the face again. There are two fingers in here, two fingers that could not belong to this hand, right? The problem is, it's like an optical illusion. Okay? I'm gonna point out, and that's why I told you to pay attention to Harry's thumb. Once you spot Harry's thumb, everything just pops into place. This thing here that everybody, including me, thought that was Harry's index finger, right index finger, it is not. It is Harry's left thumb. In the next picture, you can see it. I outlined it for yourself. Why do you see these two hands separated? Because it's the light. This is the light of the of outside, and the tips of the fingers are in the shadows. Okay. This is still the hand on the wheel with the thumb. You remember that we saw Harry's thumb, right? That's why I told you. You can see it here, the two hands. One hand on the wheel with the thumb pointed out. That's why I told you. Remember the thumb. And the other hand scratching his neck. Okay? And the other hand scratching his neck is unmistakably, you have one part, the knuckles, on the light, and the tips are on the shade, on the shadows. Okay? There's no way to miss it. When you go to the three hands picture, you notice that the problem is with his thumb. this one here. That's why I outlined it here for your viewing pleasure. So at least the mystery of the three hands was solved. I was really worried. I saw the three hands exactly at the same time. I said I have to really take a look at this. And of course I went for the highest resolution versions of the pictures. I blew them up, and I also took a look. And when you don't understand something in one picture, it helps to just go to another reference, and that way you can understand better. Maybe you can understand better what's going on. Okay? I saw the thumb. Do I win anything? My respect, Flipping L. You earn my respect because you spotted the thumb. Okay, now that the three hands are solved, the three hands mystery, okay? Well, Harry doesn't do much with two hands. Having three hands will be much more of a waste. We have the mystery of, we have the mystery of why does Meghan look like that? No, this is not the CEO of Archewell. Some claim that this was, I forgot her name. I forgot the name of the CEO of Archewell, but she's not. She is, I already mentioned that. Let's go back to that. This Janina Gavankar is unmistakably 95%. I'm sure that's her, especially the shape of the mouth. That is, it's just stole her away. Okay. Why does Meghan's face look like that? I don't know. At first, it's not really Meghan. I had my doubts. I don't know why she looked like that. Okay. Well, the Daily Mail claimed that she had no makeup, and you could say, well, why would you go without makeup? I don't know, all natural to Oprah's house. Maybe you like to go outside like that. Maybe that's no problem. I'm not gonna judge you because of that. But that really doesn't match Meghan's personality. I don't know what is your take about this. I think it doesn't match Meghan's personality. Have you hit the like button yet? Have you liked what you've seen so far? Then hit the like button. If you hit the like button, then many more people can come and comment and share this analysis with you. To be fair, Janina also looks like natural. It's like Janina doesn't have any makeup either. So Meghan doesn't have any makeup. Janina doesn't have any makeup. It fits. But maybe they were going to, I don't know, drop some videotapes, some borrowed videotapes at Oprah. I don't know. But well, let's continue, because I want to point out another thing. Yeah, the fact that Meghan is sitting in the back seat, it makes so hard to spot her features. And another topic that was a hot topic was the supposed 6 fingers of Janina. Janina was showing 6 fingers. People were counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. What is going on here? And it's the same problem with Harry. The angle, the resolution of the pictures, you have to blow them up. You have to make sense of them. I have some experience, of course, watching hands, and I outlined them for you. This is her pinky right here, her ring finger. You got her thumb, okay, between the index, between the ring and the middle finger. You got her middle finger that is like this. It is almost like a marker claw. Janina is picking up the marker claw too, and the index finger is extended. Okay, we go back to this. You can make better sense of this. Yes, it looks like a bunch of fingers. How many fingers are those? Okay. Yeah, Monica is mentioning Meghan's head that is too big, but it's the problem when you, not a problem, it's what happens when you take the picture with a very long camera lens, and it just makes everything go flat. There's no distinction of someone you could expect of someone, like for perspective, like 3D, the way our eyes work, that the head of someone on the back seat is gonna be at least a bit, just a bit smaller than the one on the front seat. That is natural, that is normal, that is perspective. But if you take the picture from very far away and it flattens the perspective, then it looks unnatural because you're not used. Our eyes do not work like a long lens camera. Okay, it's like a shorter. Maybe they don't work like a 200 millimeter camera or lens, but more like a 45 millimeter lens. Okay, so we're not used to this this kind of crazy perspective. That's why we think that Meghan's head looks unnatural. I take a look at that. I don't have any problem with it. So no, I don't think they have used Photoshop in this picture. I don't think they did. I don't think they used Photoshop this time. Maybe she's leaning forward. It would not matter. It wouldn't matter because of the distance of the photo. Remember that we know that the picture was taken from some distance because in the reflection of the bumper, there's nothing to be seen. Why is the other woman's fingers extended? Janina was somehow talking and using this gesture. That's why many were saying that it was like reprimanding her or talking like, you should have done this or that. That tells you more about maybe Janina's personality, that she likes to use that gesture that is a little commanding, that can be a bit uncomfortable at times for the person that receives that. And we have Meghan's expression that is a bit of sadness. We cannot make much of Harry's expression. Well, we can. That is something that is not unusual. Harry is not easy to read. He has always the same face, you know. And Meghan's expression of sadness combined with that finger, Janina's fingers, like Janina's is it's I don't know how to say that. What will be the word for that? Scolding her. Maybe it was scolding her. Thanks for who mentioned that. He mentioned he used to be scolded. Well, Harry used to be scolded, but I don't think Meghan used to be scolded. So that would be a hint of Meghan and Janina's relationship. What do you think? There's another thing I have to mention after the fingers. This is another picture. You notice that Harry is still scratching his bird. Okay, and Harry's thumb is again pointing upwards. Okay. Yeah, the way Janina is talking and this finger is very scolding. They're coming from the Botox clinic, maybe. But what were they doing at Oprah's? In these pictures, I think we can get a better grasp of Meghan's face, especially in this one. Let's look at that, at these pictures, at least for just a couple seconds more. But in here and in here, you can notice that her eyebrows are projecting sadness, and this is much more clear. This is much clearer. Okay. For example, you notice, you can tell that these two pictures, or this picture compared to this other pictures, were taken from. This picture was taken from a closer distance. I could say that the ISO of the camera could be different, so it was less grainy, but I don't think that in this kind of lighting it would make a difference. No, that is Meghan. That is This is Meghan. Those of you that are saying that this is not Meghan, this is Meghan. Believe me, I know. Yeah, this is Meghan, but this picture somehow has less grain, less noise than the others. Well, we have, look, in fact, I think I blew that up. Yeah, I blew that up. Yeah, I blew that up here. So you could spot and watch it much better. And Meghan is also using her hands to talk. Okay, they're both using their hands to talk, so you can guess that they're talking to each other, and there's some empathy or connection between them, because even if Janina is using very strong gestures, Meghan is trying to respond or interact with her with similar, using her hands too. So at least there's a connection between them. Okay, interesting observation. ISO was probably set to automatic. Yes, this is something that people were mentioning. Meghan looks like a teenage version of herself. Someone pointed out on Twitter, and Meghan really looks like a teenage version of herself in here. You will agree with me that it doesn't. How Veronica, you're always so snarky. I love your snark. It will a lifelong genuine friendship of 2 months. Yeah, you know how it is. You know the character. You know the person. Okay. I was thinking about, yes. They're talking. Notice that in a brief time, you see various. I hadn't noticed that. I hadn't noticed this before. Just noticing it right now, the kind of gestures Meghan is using. Notice this. Take a look at this. It's like watching a video. It's not quite a video. It's a series of photos, but it can help. Janina's head and hand are almost in the same position. She's not moving that much, and her hand, her left hand, is almost in the same position in every picture. But you notice that Meghan's head is moving, her expression are changing a bit, and her hand, I think it's her right hand, is changing in every shot. This is just a shot in the dark, what I'm gonna say, but it's like she was a bit distressed, both in her expression, her facial expression, but Meghan was somehow distressed. Okay, and maybe Janina was not pointing her finger or making that gesture because he was scolding Meghan. Maybe Janina was scolding someone else that messed up with Meghan, and that's why Meghan looks distressed or worried or anything, and Janina is not buying that. Okay, they went for some tacos. Maybe Janina is saying, one more video from that body language guy, and you know what I'm going to do. And you know Meghan is all stressed about the next video from the body language guy. I know that they're aware of my existence, so who knows? But well, we have that signs of stress or distress, signs of distress on Meghan, signs of very strong gestures from Janina, and she's turning away to look at her friend. Janina's turning around on her seat to look at Meghan. When is she not distressed? We all look like beautiful teenagers in the dark. Yes, that's the phenomenon of the mysterious darkness. But well, we also have this last picture that I want to mention, and again, this is public domain. This was published by the Daily Mail, and there are a few signals here that we have to spot. They use this picture to claim they were pulling out or about to cross two Oprah's front gates. Okay, this is allegedly the SUV about to pull to Oprah's gate. You can see the gate. This is the entrance to Oprah's big Montecito estate. Okay, and here's one SUV. we used to we saw two SUVs. Okay, we saw two of them. You remember that we saw two of them, where our friends the Harkles were going, and security behind. We can see. I know that you can spot a very big guy in here. You can spot him, right? You can spot the big guy in here. Well, when we go forward and go for the other picture again. Okay, a couple of things here. I'm going to... Someone took a picture of this property. I think even before Oprah bought this. I don't know if it was before Oprah bought that. But someone took a picture of this property. And I want you to look at this. There are a few signals here that just don't quite fit with the narrative of the Daily Mail. Okay? Maybe you are spotting that, maybe you're picking that up, but you don't know exactly where it is. Your subconscious mind is picking that up, but you don't really quite know what it is. I'm gonna zoom in, and now from another angle. We had this angle previously. Okay, that's closer to the ground. Okay, this is closer to the ground. Okay, I can even say that someone had maybe a tripod, but well, was closer to the ground, and we have another angle, this angle that is a bit higher. And we can now, thanks to this angle, to this photographer that took this picture years ago, you can see that this is not a road. This is kind of a roundabout or something, like a space where cars can make a complete circle, like a turn. Okay, like if you reach the guard gates and the guard tells you that you cannot come in, and you have a space to just go around and go away. You can spot it here. This is the like the mini guardhouse, and there's another house in here, the gates, and right besides that, this is not a road. You can see that there's a grass here. There's a curve. This is a curve in here. This is not a road. So the Daily Mail wanted us to think that this was a road coming in. Okay? Yeah, it's a gated community, but let me a couple seconds to clarify this. The Daily Mail wanted us to think that this was the Harkles pulling out. And it's not, because if you look at the floor, this is not pavement. This is cobblestone. We used to see pavement so far in all the pictures, whether if it was the pictures of Black Grid or the pictures outside the actual road. Okay, but this is cobblestone. Okay, this is not pavement. This is cobblestone. So we are actually next to the gates. So this is not a road that goes that crosses. It's like a crossroads. It is not. This is the road. You see, this is the road, and this is just like a pocket, so cars can get around. And what you're looking at here is the security car parked outside and just waiting. Okay? It's important to notice that, and if we zoom in, we notice that no, this was not the Harkles SUV. You see, this here is Mr. Big Guy again. This is not Janina, not by a long shot. You spot that? Janina Gavankar is Meghan Markle's longtime friend. We don't know how long, or we don't know for how long, but well, she's Meghan's longtime friend. Janina is the one who took the picture of that. What was the year? 2018? 2018? I don't remember. It was 2018 Christmas card picture. One that has Archie, right? I think it was 2018. I'm sorry, I'm just messing the years, but it was that Christmas card in black and white. It was the Harkles, and when Archie was up front looking at the camera. That picture was taken by Janina, if I remember correctly. Okay, if I remember correctly. So It was a bit misleading by the Daily Mail that they wanted. They were pulling at this moment. They were about to turn to Oprah's gate. No, that parked SUV with the Harkless security, waiting for the Harkless to come out. Friends with Janina for about 16 years. Oh my God, 16 years. Yeah, that's quite a lot. That's why in Meghan's years, I had to put this. Friends with Janina for about 16 years. That in Meghan's years, that's centuries. That is centuries in Meghan's years. Awesome. That's good to know. It's nice to know. Okay, so we were talking about this. Another misleading caption from the Daily Mail. And it was Cobblestone. This is not them. This is just them waiting. But the question then arises. What were they doing at Oprah for just 1 hour? I think you need you need barely 15 minutes to park the car and walk to get seated at any that state is huge. You need like 15 minutes to park the car and get inside the Oprah's home. Maybe 10 minutes. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Yeah, I think Janina is a photographer because the picture looked good. Yeah, there's another thing. In California, front and rear plates are required, and we have this. I don't know how this is another question that I don't have any answers for you. How is it possible that this SUV doesn't have plates? Okay, doesn't have plates up front. Okay, doesn't have plates. Thanks for your observation. Yeah, Meghan, a friendship in Meghan's years is centuries. How do we know the security guy is for Meghan Markle and Hassa? Could it be for Oprah herself? Good question, but then why are they waiting outside? Why didn't they go in if they were Oprah's security? They would have, the entourage would have completely go through the gates. They're just waiting for the Harkles to get out. Oh yeah, I remember this. Janina and Meghan have been friends for 18 years. She defended the Harkles after the Oprah interview, saying that Meghan had emails and text messages to back up all the claims that she made, all the receipts. But where are the receipts? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Where are those receipts? And yes, I think there was yes, it was the last picture that I had for you today. Now, I begin to wonder if Oprah was actually aware that they they visited. That's why I published a meme on my Twitter account about Oprah saying, "What?" when she woke up the next day and found out that they were taking pictures at her gates. This is just public relations. I think they want to make it seem like Oprah wants to do a second interview. But if you remember my analysis about that, I made a video analysis of why Oprah now thinks that it was the worst idea of her recent career to do that interview. I don't think that that's going to be a second one. Okay? There was some royal commentators that said something very plausible, that since the Penguin Random House, the Harry's memoirs are coming, they need any noise possible. They need at least to maybe Oprah interview Harry. Maybe it's not about the articles. Maybe it's interviewing Harry, and they were just going to, I don't know, 1 hour. I don't know what could they do about that. They are trying to scare the royal family again. Maybe it could be, but what are they? What kind of scare tactics are this? They could have really scared the royal family, trying to, I don't know, show their faces more at the Jubilee celebrations, and they didn't. Okay, they were supposedly cheered at the only moment that they show their faces at the Jubilee celebrations. and they just went away. They want to scare the royal family. I don't think they would like to. They are going to scare the royal family this way. I think they are going to bring more visibility to the royal family. This can all actually help the royal family's brand image. She could be crying on the back seat. Maybe. Maybe. It doesn't look like Harry isn't wearing a seatbelt. I don't know. I haven't. Very good observation. Let me see. There are other images here that are way closer. It should be. I think there's a seatbelt in there. There's a line in here that suggests a seatbelt, and I think that he is wearing a seatbelt. Very hard to spot. A bit hard to spot. But in this picture, in one of those pictures, there's a seatbelt. I'm sure I spotted there. There's a horizontal, a bit of diagonal in there. It suggests that he's wearing a seatbelt. There's the headrest. There's the other side of the blankie, and that is on this baby seat or child seat. Which, by the way, is a baby seat that is facing backwards, right? I think 1 year olds still sit facing backwards. I don't remember that rule. 1 year olds have to face backwards. That is important to remember. But, well, there's a seat belt, so I'm not gonna judge Harry on that. I'm sure that he will be very careful about that, precisely that thing. Should security not be in front of the Harkle's car? No, they should be at the back. They should be at the back so they can keep the Harkle's car on site. That is important. Okay, what else? Let's see on the spot. Well, yes, I did a video that her body language claiming that she already saw Lilibet was not very trustful. I think that by this point she must have seen her. Yes, this is something that I'm going to do as soon as Tom Bauer's book hits the Kindle store. I'm gonna get my hands on it. I'm gonna just blast through it and give you my impressions as soon as I can. Tom Bauer's book is gonna be the bomb. Not the bomb in the terms that it's gonna bomb. It's gonna be the bomb. I don't know if I'm using that expression correctly. Maybe Oprah told her security to tell Harkle she wasn't home. That's why only an hour took that long to get up to door and back to gate. Yeah, it could have been that way. I analyzed her interview on this morning. Yeah, you just have to go to my channel and think and look for her name. You'll get and you'll get that video. So we reached 2,000 likes, and it has been a real pleasure for me to try to explain some things about these pictures, especially the crazy three hands and stuff. And this is a meme that I have done this morning. I didn't know. Now that I have the Royal Rogue, I have a second channel only talking about the royal family, only talking about, not much about body language, but more about especially news about the royal family, even gossip, commenting gossip about the royal family. That is no holds barred, the Royal Rogue. I still have this channel, of course, the body language guy. But then I didn't know where in which channel to review these pictures, and I said, well, I'm going to debunk some things, as in not only body language but analyzing the images. So that sounds like a job for the body language guy. So that's why the body language guy took the wheel, metaphorically, this time. So we talk. Let's go over briefly. Go over everything that we talked so far. Meghan's facial expressions totally out of place, and it didn't even look like Meghan. And why did they look so odd? It's because the picture was taken from some distance with a long lens camera. This was 95% sure it was Janina Gavankar. The same eyes, nose, the mouth. The mouth just gives her away. And, well, we were talking about Harry's hand. I used this picture for reference. And then we have the mysterious, empty, wide, uber wide road. And we know that the roads around both the Harkles' house and Oprah's house are not like that. And we also have the problem that in this picture of backgrade, we have only one yellow line, and in every other Google Maps picture from their home to Oprah's house, well, it's two lines. And you can just go on the internet, look for where does Oprah live, where the Harkles live. Just tell Google to create that shortest distance path, and then you will notice that there's no road that barely resembles the one that you have here. It is let me see. I have this picture. It's a wider road with just a one yellow line. I think we have a with traffic lights. There are no traffic lights over that route. The mysterious three hands of Harry was just a problem that outlining them was much easier to see. Okay? Exactly the same with Janina's 6 fingers. Were not 6 fingers, just outlining, just tell us this was not Photoshop. No Photoshop was used here. Just calling the paparazzis as usual, calling them, telling them this is where we're gonna take the picture. This is a good road for taking the picture. It has nothing to do with going to Oprah. And in fact, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right before saying goodbye. This is no proof. This picture is no proof that the Harkles were at Oprah's home. Okay? This could have been just the security people on their SUV pulling up to Oprah's house, going out that circle, just going backwards so they can go out through that cobblestone path and take the picture at that moment. Another person taking the picture at that moment. Okay? Of course, Oprah doesn't abide by never complain, never explain. Oprah should say something if Oprah really was blindsided. Did you blindside Oprah? Was Oprah blindsided by you? I don't know, active voice, passive voice, the way you like it. Oprah would say something unless, well, you know how is Meghan. When Meghan wants a headline, Meghan gets the headline, even if it's over Oprah. I don't know. You place your bets. You have your own judgment. Meghan look distressed. I don't know what else we can tell about this picture. There's so much that we can find out just by a little common sense, a little body language, and finding out, keeping our eyes on the details. My body language buddies, it was a pleasure for me to have this live with you. And remember that you can send me super thanks, super chats, super stickers. The PayPal link in the description is very useful to support my channel, and every single share you can every single share to your friends, my channel, my videos, I will be much appreciated. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language Guy, and until we meet again on another live, maybe the Battle Language Guy or the Royal Rogue, my second channel, we'll be meeting there. Take care, my body language buddies. I love you all. Much love and bliss. Bye bye.